Hello everyone, welcome back to our direct taxation month-end series for the January 2026 attempt. Till yesterday, we have completed the chapters like taxation of the digital transaction. Today, we are going to start with the income tax authorities. Okay. And after that, you have also completed the TDS TCS chapter. For the question answers of the TDS and TCS chapter, we shall be doing the 316 question list at the end or on the YouTube itself. Okay. So do not worry. It's my responsibility to give you the question and answers solved for the TDS and TCS as well. Okay. Now ahead going ahead, we are starting with the income tax authorities. See, this is the chapter which is very important for your exam perspective. There are only two sections that is very much important for this from this particular chapter, that is section number 132 and 133. These are the two sections on which the exams will definitely test you. This is the section number 133, which is majorly tested by the exams, which are majorly tested in the examination. 132 can also be tested in the exams very frequently. Okay. So these are the two sections which we need to understand. What does this chapter goes like? Okay. We are doing the question and answers along with the concepts. So we'll go with the concepts a little faster, and then we will going with the question and answers. See, income tax authorities. There is a hierarchy in the income tax authority which says that what? Which says that first is the Ministry of Finance. Under the Ministry of Finance, there is a Department of Revenue. Under the Department of Revenue, there are two boards. That is, first is Central Board of Direct Taxes (CBDT). Second is Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs. This is a IDT matter and this is a DT matter. We are concerned about the DT matter, that is the Central Board of Direct Taxes. In the Central Board of Direct Taxes, there are two wings. That is, first is the assessment wing and second is what the investigation wing. Okay. So in that hierarchy, what they are saying that there are two wings. First is the assessment wing and second one is what the investigation wing. Okay, understood? Now in that, see what they are saying that there is a hierarchy. On the top, who will be on the top? The principal chief commissioner of the income tax. Then principal commissioner of income tax or commissioner of income tax is on the same hierarchy. Then additional commissioner or the joint commissioner, assistant commissioner or the deputy commissioner, and income tax officer. Okay, these three levels will be termed as what? Assessing officer. Will be termed as what? Assessing officer. Then the TRO, that is a tax recovery officer, and the inspector of income tax. And in the investigation wing, there are principal director general of income tax, principal director general of principal director of income tax, or director of income tax, or additional director, or assistant director or deputy director. These are the hierarchy that you need to just know. And in this, additional director, joint director, assistant director, or deputy director to be termed as what? Assessing officer for this particular purpose. Now we are going to see what are the powers of the CBDT. We need to understand the powers of CBDT to give instructions to the subordinates. They see there are a CBDT na, or for the CBDT, every wing is the subordinate to it. Okay, so CBDT is the main authority who can give the orders to its subordinates. So there are what are the orders they can give? So see what they are saying, that the CBDT can issue the orders, instructions, or circulars to its subordinates for the administration of the act. Act is what? Income Tax Act 1961, and it should be binding on the subordinates. Means whatever the circulars they are issuing to the subordinates, na, these are binding on income tax authorities. Income tax authority which are subordinate to the CBDT. But whether the circulars are binding on assessee? No, the circulars are not binding on the assessee. The circulars can be challenged in the court. Understood? Now there are some exceptions to it. What are the exceptions? See, the CBDT cannot require the income tax authority, ITS stand for the income tax authority, to make a particular assessment in a particular manner. They cannot be biased. Okay, that this particular assessment should be done in that particular manner. No, they cannot require any income tax authority to do these biasness. Whatever the rules and regulations made for the general public, the same will be followed in that particular assessment as well. There will be no particular manner for such a particular assessment. Understood? And the CBDT cannot interfere in the discretion of the Joint Commissioner Appeals or the Commissioner Appeals during the appellate proceedings. Whatever the appellate proceedings are going on, whatever the discretion, whatever the findings, or whatever the results of that appellate proceedings of the Joint Commissioner Appeals or the Commissioner Appeals, the CBDT cannot interfere into it. Now, the other powers of the CBDT is what for the removal of the genuine hardship, for avoiding the genuine hardship, CBDT may issue what general or special order to relax the requirement of chapter number 4, that is the computation of total income, or chapter 6, that is a deduction from GTI, where the assessee has failed to comply with the requirement. But what? See, there are conditions attached to it. The CBDT can relax the situation, can relax the requirement in case of genuine hardships, okay, by issuing the general or the special order. But provided that such default, whatever the default is, should be beyond the control of the assessee, and the assessee has complied it before the completion of the assessment, then only they can give the general and special order for that requirement relaxation. Okay, and for any other sections, whether they can give you the general and special orders, yes, they can give. Okay, and the last part, that is the third part, what they are saying, that for the genuine hardship, CBDT may by general or special order authorize the income tax authority. They can even authorize the income tax authority to admit the claim for exemption, deduction, refund, or any other relief after the expiry of a specified period. Whatever the specified period is given in the Income Tax Act, is to remove the genuine hardship. If the CBDT fees to remove the genuine hardship, the extension should be given. So they can even give the extension to authorize the income tax authority that at this extended date, if there is a claim of exemption, deduction, or refund, or any other relief, you may consider it and provide for it. But they cannot order whom? JC appeals or commissioner appeals. Okay, joint commissioner appeals or commissioner appeals, they cannot be given directions by the CBDT. Okay, now there are two case laws to it. CIT versus HV Gopala case law. What does it say? It says CBDT can issue the circulars to clarify the things, but they cannot amend the legislative provisions through the circulars. They cannot amend the legislative provisions. If they want to issue the circular, should be a clarificatory nature which clarifies the law which is given in which is passed by the legislation of India, that is in Parliament. Okay, cannot amend the laws from the circulars. There is a procedure to amend the law, that it should be passed in both the houses and then it should be signed by the President of India. The same procedure to be followed. The circular cannot amend the legislative provisions. That's yes. Now, Regan Powertech versus CBDT, there is a case law which says that if there is an issue that is beyond the assessee control, okay, and for such delay, the assessee want to condone that delay. Okay, he is asking to condone that particular delay, so the CBDT cannot refuse it. So the CBDT cannot refuse it because the circumstances was beyond the assessee's control. If the circumstances was not beyond the assessee control, then they can definitely refuse it. But if the circumstances are that which is beyond the assessee's control, so definitely condonation request cannot be refused by the understood. Now, coming to the forward thing, condonation for delay. This is the Manthan batch. Okay. First, let me give you the brief of it. This is a Manthan batch. Please do not expect me that I am giving you the full detailed things. I'm just brushing all the concepts. Okay. For which you will be able to solve the questions very easily. So I am giving you a brush up of all the concepts given in this particular thing. It is more or less it is on the same par with the regular batch, or maybe or the exam oriented batch, because every concept is to be taken care of, but just the speed is little bit higher. The speed is little bit higher, but every concept is just being taken care of in this particular batch as well. Okay, understood. Now, in case of genuine hardships, okay, for the condonation of delay that we have sent, for the genuine hardship only the condonation of delay can be allowed to you, but the delay should be in filing of return, who's having the claim of carry forward, who's having the see. I have filed the return of income which is delayed due to the genuine hardship, and that particular filing of return having the claim of carry forward. The claim, the loss has not been set off. That is why I need to carry forward it. So there is a claim of carry forward. So they have said that if that particular claim, that is a carry forward thing, is up to 1 crore rupees of any of the assessment year, then the condonation request to be sent to whom? Principal commissioner or the commissioner. Okay, if the claim is above 1 crore but up to 3 crore rupees, then the request should be sent to the CCIT. And if the claim is above 3 crore rupees, then the condonation request to be sent to whom? Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Now what they have said that, see, is the application to be made for seeking of the condonation? Yes, the condonation request can be the application can be sent to within 5 years from the end of the assessment year for which the application is made. Okay, see, if you are making an application for the assessment year 25-26, it ends on 31st of March 2026, correct? Okay, plus 5 years from now, so it is 31st of March 2031. This is the timeline where you can ask for the condonation of the assessment year 25-26. Understood? But but if the application is filed before 1st of October 2024, then the time limit of 5 years shall be increased to 6 years. But before 1st of October 2024, after 1st of October 2024, the time limit reduced to what? The time limit reduced to 5 years. Understood? Now, the condonation request that is received by the CBDT or received by these particular authorities, the principal commissioner, commissioner, or the chief commissioner, then it should be disposed of within 6 months from the end of the month in which the application is received by the competent authority. Whenever they will receive the application from the end of the month, they will count the 6 months, and within the 6 months, the application should be accepted by the authority. Now, in case of a loss, in case of a refund claim, okay, due to the court order, so there is a time frame now in the court. You fought that particular case, so whatever the time period lapsed in the court findings or in the court where you fought the case in the court, so that particular period shall be reduced from 5 years or 6 years. That should not be counted in the 5 years or 6 years. That should be excluded from it, and the balance shall be counted for. Okay, so if the court case ran for 6 months. Suppose the court case went for 6 months. So this 6 month cannot be counted in the calculation of 5 years or the 6 year. It should be excluded. Okay, it should be excluded. Understood or not? Okay. Now, can the belated application seeking additional refund can be entertained? The belated application means in exceeding of the 5 years or the 6 years, whether the application can be filed in excess of 5 years or 6 years. Yes, the application can be filed, but the condonation can only be available if the income is of the assessee and not accessible in the hands of any other person. Like in the case of clubbing, what happens is the income of a child is also kept in the hands of income of the parents. Okay, so the parents can ask for the belated return of his particular income, not of his child, because it is a case of clubbing which is not allowed here. Okay, if there is a refund available there will be no interest should be given on it. Okay, no interest should be given on it, and the refund shall only be claimed in case of excess TDS, TCS, advance tax, or self-assessment tax. You cannot claim the refund of excess deductions, excess exemptions. What you can claim is you have paid excess, now you are taking it back. You have paid TDS in excess, you are taking the deduction of it. You have paid advance tax or self-assessment tax in excess, you are taking the credit of it. Okay, but you cannot claim the refund on the basis of exemptions, deductions. This should not be allowed to you. Understood? Now the jurisdiction of an income tax authority under section number 120. What does it say? See, jurisdiction is allotted on the basis of territorial area, person or classes of person, income or classes of income, class or classes of cases. Okay, cases or classes of cases. Okay, on these basis, the jurisdiction is divided. See, this is not the important section at all. Okay, but just it should be known to you. Whether the income tax authority having the higher authority in rank may perform power and functions of IT authority lower in rank as if directed by the CBT. If there is a higher authority in rank, can it perform the functions of a lower authority? Yes, they can perform it, but it should be directed by whom? CBTT. Okay, the CBTT may also authorize the income tax authorities to issue order in writing to subordinate for exercise of its powers, and CBTT may assign the functions of to the various ITS. Okay, it is just a normal or the basic functions of a CBDT. That is, a CBDT can also assign the functions to the various ITAs, or whatever the functions they need to perform, they will give you the list of it. Okay, and the CBDT can also authorize the ITA in writing that what powers you need to exercise in this particular case. Understood clearly? Is this point clear? 120, 119. If it's clear, so come to the question bank and solve the question number 1. Solve the question number 1. See, what does it says? ABC Limited regularly files its return of income electronically. Yes. While trying to upload return of income for assessment year 24-25 on 31st of October 2024, ABC Limited found it extremely difficult to do the same due to the network problems and ultimately became successful in making e-filing of return only at 1 a.m. on the 1st November 2024. Means it is a delayed return because the due date is what, 31st of October 2024, but he filed on 1st of November. Even by 1 hour delay is a delay. Okay, the return contained a claim of carry forward of business loss of 3 crore. Okay, the claim is exceeding 3 crore rupees, so you should go to Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Okay, now this circumstances was recorded in the email addressed to the competent income tax authority on 1st November 2024. ABC Limited made a request to the Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax for condonation of delay in the respect of filing of return. Yes, you need to file, you need to ask for the Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax for the delay condonation. Yes, correct. As per section number 119, discuss whether the Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax has the power to condone the delay in the filing of return and permit carry forward of losses. Yes, he is the power. Now you have to write this, and then you need to say that this is the genuine hardship and the justifiable reason. Okay, so the Principal Chief Commissioner has the power to condone the delay in the filing of return of ABC Limited. But how to write this thing? See, first you need to write the provisions. First you need to write the provisions of the act. Then you need to write the facts of the case. Then you need to write the analysis of the case, and then finally you need to give the conclusion. Then finally you need to give the conclusion. Understood? Tell me this. Is this point clear to you? Question number 1 is clear. On these basis, first you will write the provisions, the whole provision of section number 119 that we have given the relevant provisions. Okay, the fact of the case that the ABC Limited have the network issues. Okay, these are the things. Then analysis you need to do, and then finally give the conclusion. Yes, the Principal Chief Commissioner can condone the delay. Okay, now come there. Section number 124, the jurisdiction of the assessing officer. See what it is saying that, see the jurisdiction, once the jurisdiction of the assessing officer is allotted to the assessing officer, so he can exercise his jurisdiction over any person who is carrying out business or profession in that area, whose principal business place of business in that particular area, or who resides in that area is the jurisdiction of that particular AO. Okay, but in case of any dispute, the AO, the jurisdiction of the AO shall be referred to the higher authorities, and he shall determine what is the jurisdiction of then AO. But whether the assessee can challenge the jurisdiction of AO, yes, the assessee can also challenge the jurisdiction of AO, but in certain cases, like he filed the return of income under section number 139(1), then he should be objecting the jurisdiction of AO within 1 month from the date of service of notice under section number 142(1), 143, or completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. Or if he filed no returns, see, if the no return is filed, he can even ask for the document under section number 142(1). He can be best judgment assessment, the best judgment assessment can be open for it, and the notice under section number 148 for the reassessment under section 147 can be opened for it. So all these things are being given in this, that within the expiry of the time allowed by the notice under section 142(1), 148, or show cause notice under section number 144, whichever is earlier. Okay, but if there is a case of search and seizure, then within 1 month from the notice service of notice under section 153 A or C, or completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. This is the table you need to understand and learn. Okay. But now, with assessing questions the jurisdiction of the AO, and the AO is not satisfied with the correctness of the claim. Okay, AO is not satisfied whether the assessee is saying correct or not. So for that particular purpose, he can make a reference to the commissioner or the chief commissioner. Okay, then the chief commissioner or the commissioner shall definitely tell whether the jurisdiction of that particular AO is correct or not. Okay, whether the AO has the jurisdiction over the assessee shall be determined by the commissioner or chief commissioner. Okay, and if there is a question on areas within the jurisdiction of commissioner or chief commissioner, earlier you are putting question mark on the jurisdiction of AO resolved by the commissioner or chief commissioner, but now you are putting on the question mark on the chief commissioner of the commissioner. Then it should be the concerned chief commissioner or commissioner shall mutually agree to it, and if they are not getting mutually agreed, then the CBDT shall give the final verdict who shall be having the jurisdiction of that particular assessee. Okay, understood or not? Tell me this. This chart is understood or not? Clear? Now, see, question number 2. Examine the correctness of the statement that the jurisdiction of the assessing officer cannot be objected by the assessee. No, it is wrong. It can be objected. See, all these three cases. Can you see all these three cases? Tell me this. All the three cases is clear to you? Understood? So this particular the statement which is given is not correct. It's not correct. Understood? Clear? Now come forward. Section number 127. If there is a transfer of case, okay, if there is a transfer of case, then there should be a reasonable opportunity of being heard to be given to the assessee. However, there will be no opportunity of being heard to be given if there is a transfer of one AO to the another AO within the same city, town, or locality. If the case is transferred from one AO to another AO within the same city, town, or locality, there will be no opportunity of being heard to be given. Otherwise, in all the cases, reasonable opportunity of being heard should be given to it. And if there is a dispute in the jurisdiction, then it should be resolved by the mutual understanding. Okay. Now coming to section number 129, if there is a change in income tax authority, like the AO which was seeing your particular case is now retired. The new AO came in that particular jurisdiction itself, in that particular office itself. So the income tax authority changes, now the authority, the person changes. So in that particular case, see, the assessee can demand the two things. The assessee can demand the two things. First, before continuation of my case, please reopen the previous proceedings and see whatever the cases is. Whatever the case is, you have to see it. You have to again re-verify it, everything. Okay, reopen it and start from the scratch. Okay, and he can even ask for, either he can ask for reopening of the case, or he can ask for, before passing an order, please reheard the assessee first. Please reheard the assessee first. Okay, there is a thing. Section number 131. That is the power regarding the discovery or production of evidences. See, the income tax authority has given the same power is given for the civil code under the CRPC Act of 1908, like discovery and inspection, enforcing the attendance of any person and examining on oath, okay, compelling the books of accounts, issuing commissions, everything is given in this, every power is given of this particular act. Okay, now where such ITA has reason to suspect, the belief should not be there. If there is a suspicion as well, if there is a suspicion as well, then also it is fine. Then also it is fine. So where such ITA, the income tax authority, has a reason to suspect that income has been concealed, it may for making inquiry, exercise the above powers that is given A to D, irrespective of the fact that the no proceeding is pending. Whether the proceeding is pending or not does not matter. If the income tax authority has a reason to suspect that the particular person, particular assessee has income escaped or the income has been concealed by it, so he can inquire all these things. Okay, he can do for the purpose of inquiry, he can do all these things. And first is what for the income tax authority. Now they have said that for the principal DGIT or DGIT or principal director or the joint director, for the investigation wing, whether the investigation wing can also do the same. Yes, if he has the reason to suspect, they can that the then the assessee has concealed the income, he can also exercise the powers before it. Okay, so for inquiry or investigation with agreement under section number 90 or 90A, that is for the double taxation relief, double tax avoidance agreement. Okay, the ITA not below the rank of assistant commissioner shall exercise above power irrespective of the fact that no proceedings are pending. So not below the rank of assistant commissioner should not do this work. Okay, only the assistant commissioner in the above rank of the officers can enter into this particular domain. Okay, but now here what we are doing, here we are just doing inspection. Seizure cannot be done under section number 131. Seizure will be done only under section number 132, but not under section number 131. Only inspection can be covered under section number 131. Okay. Now, impounding and retaining of books can be done. Yes, it can be done. It can be done. For AO, AD, and DD. AO is what? As authorized officer, okay, assessing officer, additional director or director, deputy director. Okay, they can impound the book, shall not impound or books of account or document without reason for doing so. So they should have a reason why they are impounding the books, then only they can impound the books. And if they want to retain that particular books, so they can retain for more than 15, they cannot retain the books for 15 days exclusive of holidays without the approval of these particular authorities. If they want to retain the books of accounts for more than 50 days, then the authority should be taken from all these people. Understood or not? Tell me this first. Clear? Understood? No. Procedure to search and seizure. What is the procedure to search and seizure? It is going to be now important chapter. This is the start of the important things. Okay. In search and seizure. First we will do this. This is a penalty. Also, there is a one question on this penalty, and rest is a small part. Okay, rest is a small part. Okay. Now come. Procedure for search and seizure. See, who are the authority who is empowered to issue authorization for search? Who will give power that to the assessing officer? Then okay, it's good. You can go for the search and seizure. Who will authorize it? The authorization is given to the principal chief commissioner, principal director general or director general, principal commissioner, principal director or director the power is given to them. Okay, but the power is also given to the assistant commissioner, addition, additional director, okay, joint commissioner and the joint director, only if they are empowered by the board, that is a CBDT. If the power is given by the court, then only you can be doing so. Okay. But when the search can be authorized, who will authorize? We have seen that. Now, when it can be authorized, so they said that if there is a reason to believe, now there is no reason to suspect. There should be a strong reason, the reason to believe that the person to whom summons under section 133(1) or 142(1) has issued to produce books of account or any document has omitted or failed to do so. We have asked to submit the reports, we have asked to submit the books of accounts, we have asked to submit the other documents, but he has omitted to do so or failed to do so. But in second thing, that person to whom submission or summons or notice be issued will not produce or cause to be produced. They will not produce it. We know that. Either we have sent them the notice. In the first point, what we are saying, we have sent them the notice, but they haven't responded. In the second point, we are saying that we know that if we send the notice, then also they are not going to produce anything. So in that particular thing, they can also send what? They can also ask for the search. Okay, in the first thing, we have sent the notice and they have omitted to do so. Okay, in the second case, what they are saying, in the second case, they are saying, if we send them the notice, na, if we send them the summons, then also they are not going to reply anything. So these are the two different things. Okay. Now, if there is a person, the third thing is what? If there is a person who is in the possession of money, bullion, jewelry, okay, representing what? Income of property which has not been disclosed. If there is any undisclosed income or property in form of what? Money, bullion, or jewelry, then also the in the point number three, the search can be initiated. Now, the reason to believe on what basis the search is authorized, it is not necessary that you should disclose. It should not be disclosed to any other person, authority, or the ITAT. It is not a mandatory thing that the reason to believe should be disclosed. If you do not want to disclose, do not disclose it. No issues. Now, what are the power of authorized officer in case of a search? Now, if you want to go, if you are going in the search, okay, what are the powers given in that particular search? Okay, enter and search any building, place, vessel, vehicle, or aircraft which has been suspect that books, money, etc. are kept. Okay, wherever the books, money, etc. are kept, you can search anything you can search. Okay, if there is no keys available to it, then you can even break the lock of that particular door, box, or locker. Okay, and if you are searching in a premises, okay, if you see any person coming into the premises or going out of the premises, can you search that particular person as well? Yes, search any person who has got out of it or is about to get into in the building. Okay, you can search all those things as well. Now, power with respect to books of account or other document, money, jewelry, valuable articles are given there under. Whatever the powers given is this. See, you can inspect or seize any books of account, document, money, bullion, jewelry, etc. found under the search. Whatever it is found under the search, you can inspect it, you can seize it, but the stock cannot be seized. Okay, because it is a trading business. You cannot seize the stock in trade. You can even make a note or an inventory of such money, bullion, jewelry, like whatever is received in this particular search, whatever we get in that particular search, you can make a note or inventory to all these things. You can even mark a place of identification on books or other documents. That particular thing, what does it says? It says that it is just like a sticky note. It is just like a sticky note placed on the books of accounts that this particular I have seen till this. I have seen this till this particular page. From now starting, I will be seeing from the next page. So just a place of identification mark that if the assessing officer or the authorized officer want to make, they can make it. Yes, they can make it. They can even insert the placeholder mark. Okay. Now, require any person who is in control of any books of account maintained in the electronic form to provide password. If the books of accounts is maintained in the Tally or the ERP software, then definitely the password is known to whom? Might be the accountant to it or the chartered accountant to it. Okay, so the income tax authority can even ask for the passwords to from them. Okay, if they seize the books of accounts, then it should be returned within 30 days from the date of assessment. From the date of assessment, they had to return the books of account within 30 days. Understood? Now there are point that is a deemed seizure due to the reason of the fact that the asset which is found in the premises which need to be seized is voluminous. Okay, the weight is very high, dangerous nature. Okay, and due to this, it is not possible or practicable to take the physical possession. To take the physical possession, it is not practical or possible. So in that particular case, what they can do, the authorized officer may serve an order that the person who is the owner shall not remove or otherwise deal with it except with the previous approval. So you cannot deal it. We are not taking it. We are not seizing it. But we are just giving you the orders that you cannot deal in these particular goods or you cannot remove these particular goods from this particular premises. Okay, but if you want to remove it, you need to take the previous approval from us. But again, this particular thing is not applicable for the stock in trade. Now, restrained order is also given. What are the restrained orders? Other than this, other than the criteria given there, that is luminous in nature, weight, and the dangerous nature. Apart from these three things, if there is any other reason, if there is any other reason mentioned above, okay, from where the physical possession is not practicable, for where the physical possession is not practicable, but apart from the reasons given above, that is voluminous in nature, weight, and the dangerous nature. Okay, in that particular case, you can give the same orders to whom the person who will the person whose authority is on that particular goods. Okay, but it is not a deemed seizure, it is not a deemed seizure, it is a restrained order that you cannot deal in these particular goods. Okay, because it should not it is not a deemed seizure. We are just saying you should not remove these particular goods from these premises. Okay, or you should not deal with it. Okay, but such order is valid only for the 60 days from the date of order. Only 60 days from the date of order it should be given. Like if the books of account are given in the suppose uh, it is kept outside India for any other offices like the BPOs or the KPOs, then it should be written as a restrained order. But this restrained order shall only be valid up to the 60 days from the date of that particular order. Okay. Now, for the search or the seizure, the authorized officer may request for the police officer, central government officer, or any other person who will assist him in carrying out of the search. He can ask for it. He can ask for it. Now, where the authorized officer has no jurisdiction over the person searched, if the authorized officer has searched a person but he has no jurisdiction to it, so whatever the amount, whatever the money, bullion, jewelry, or any other asset or the valuable asset, whatever he got from that particular search, he need to transfer everything to the AO who has the jurisdiction of it within 60 days from the date of search in which it was completed. Whenever the search was completed, within 60 days from the date of search is completed, you need to transfer all the assets to the AO who is having the jurisdiction over such person. Now, what is the presumptions during the search? We will be presuming something like if there are any books, documents, money, bullion, jewelry are found in the possession of any person. Now, it is presumed that these books and other things are belonging to the person to whom we are searching. The content of BOA, that is the books of accounts and the documents, are true, and the signature or any other part of the books of account is of the signature in the same handwriting of the person on whom the search is conducted. So if there is a signature is done, we will be assuming that it is in the same handwriting of the same person on whom the search is conducted. Okay, and in case of a document stamped, executed, and attested, we shall be assuming that the person who is responsible for doing that has done the same. Okay, so the person who is authorized to do that, it is done the same, and it is not the forced things. It is not the forced things. Now, provisional attachment. What is a provisional attachment? Says that, see, to in the interest of the revenue or to safeguard the recovery, so the assessing officer can provisionally attach the property of that particular person. From that, after selling, after the money is sold, okay, the money is recovered. Okay, so the property is sold and the recovery can be made. So it is what a provisional attachment. If there is any movable property, immovable property which is received in the seizure, then we can sell it to recover the tax to recover the tax deficit of that particular assessee. Okay, whether we can do this? Yes, it is what a provisional assessment. So the property can be provisionally attached to protect interest of the revenue or safeguarding recovery in such cases within 60 days from the date of which such completed with prior approval of PDG, DG, PD, and D. So within 60 days, within the 60 days from the date of such is completed, you need to do this. Okay. Now, above attachment shall be valid for only 6 months from the date of order. Okay, it shall be only valid for the 6 months from the date of order. Otherwise, you need to release it. Okay. Now, whether if there is a property which is received, whether we can do the valuation officer, we can appoint a valuation officer to find out the fair market value of that particular thing. Yes, the valuation officer shall submit its report within 60 days from the date of its reference. Okay. Now, there are two case laws, that is the SR Bartley Boy versus IT department and the Union of India versus Ajit Jain. Now, in the case of SR Bartley Boy versus IT department, said that where the search was conducted, the laptop of the auditor was seized as well. The laptop of the auditor was lying there and it was also seized. So the case law says that the income tax authority can only access the information which relates to the person to whom the search is conducted. See, it is an auditor. It will have the details of more than one client. It will have a details of 500, 600, thousands of clients. But you can only access the information of the client related to which the search is conducted. You cannot search all the clients. You cannot search the whole laptop. Okay, understood? Now, what is the second case law? That is the Union of India versus Ajit Jain. It says that, see, if the CBI conducted any raid, okay, and in that particular raid, the CBI found that the money, CBI found the money was lying in that particular assessee's house, and according to the CBI, it was undisclosed. So you cannot say we got the information, so we will attract section number 132. No, for attraction of section number 142, 132, these are the three conditions that should be fulfilled. If there is the information received by the CBI, we will not follow that lead. Understood clearly? These are the things that we need to understand. Now, if there is a penalty of the undisclosed income where the search is initiated, if the search is initiated, okay, so there is a penalty under section number 271 AAB on the undisclosed income. What it says that it should be levied by AO or the CIT appeals. It should be levied by the AO or the CIT appeals if the assessee discloses such income during the search in a statement. Okay, the assessee itself discloses the income and even say what is the source of that particular income, and even pays the taxes and file the return of income, then the 30% of the undisclosed income shall be the penalty. In otherwise all the cases, 60% shall be the penalty. But if the penalty is imposed under section number 271 double AB, then the penalty under section number 270 and 271A shall not be applicable. But appeal against such penalty can be made under section number 246A. Yes. Understood clearly? Yes. Now, power to requisition books of accounts. Power to requisition books of account. What does it say? See, if there is a raid or the search is conducted by any other authority like GST, CBI, ED, okay, if there is any other authority who has conducted the search and seized what books of accounts or other assets, so whether we can ask for that. Yes, we can ask for the other. We can ask the other authorities to provide the books of accounts or any other asset which they have seized to it. Okay, we can ask to it, but it shall be deemed as what? Deemed seizure under section number 132. It shall also be deemed as a deemed seizure on such delivery under section number 132. Now, for the section number 132B, what they have said that application of seized or requisitioned asset. What they are saying that, see, whatever the requisition assets we get, whatever the seized asset we get, how we should apply these things. Okay, so see, if we get the money to it, if we get money, we will apply it in the recovery of a tax liability. Okay, if there is a property to it, we will value it, we will get the FMV to it, and then we will sell it and recover our tax dues. So whatever they are saying that, first what they are saying that you can what in what things the seized asset or the requisition asset can be utilized. So is what existing tax liability under this act or the Black Money Act, excluding the advance tax payable. And the advance tax payable cannot be adjusted. Other than that, existing tax liability under this act can be adjusted. Okay. Now, amount determined on completion of the assessment year for the previous year in which the search is made. Okay, in the search is made in the previous year in which the search is made on for upon the completion of that particular assessment. If there is any amount determined to it, you can pay for that particular amount as well from the asset seized. Okay, and if there is a liability arising on the application made by the dispute resolution committee, then also you can utilize it. Understood? Now what they are saying that, see, this is important part. When person concerned makes an application to AO within 30 days from the end of the month in which assets were seized for release of assets and explain the nature of those. Okay, if the person concerns, the assessee makes an application to the AO that please release our assets. I am explaining you the nature and source of the particular assets, how we have acquired it, everything we are going to explain you, but please release our assets. Okay, okay, then the application should be made within 30 days from the end of the month. Okay, then on the satisfaction of the AO, such asset shall be required to be released within maximum of 120 days from the date of search. It is important, from the date of search, not from the receipt of application. No, from the date of search, the 120 days can be seen, and in that particular case, only the existing liability can be set off and no other liability can be set off from this particular case. Okay, only the existing liability can be set off. These two liability cannot be set off in this particular case. Okay, if we see, if we get the money, we will use the you first use the money to recover our tax liability. If the money shortfall, then we will sell out the remaining assets, okay, and adjust the liability. If there is any balance left, then it should be given to the assessee. It should be given to the assessee. Now, if see, the money seized plus the proceeds of the asset sold in total reduced by the liability which is to be given to the assessee, if the government does not pay before the for the period immediately following 120 days from the date on which the search completed or requisition made, then they should be pay 0.5% per month or part of the month as interest. That is a simple interest to whom the assessee, the interest should be paid. See, the balance is to be paid now. If balance is to be paid to the assessee, if they have not paid, then the 0.5% of the per month or part of the month shall be given to the assessee as interest. Now there is a case law of Hemant Kumar Sindhi versus CIT. What does this case law says that? See, this case law says that there was a search conducted, and during the search, the gold bars of the assessee is what seized. Okay. Now assessee makes an application that you can adjust the tax liability by selling of that gold bars. Whether they can do so? No, they cannot do so because the assessment is not yet completed. They can do so, but only when the assessment is finally completed, because on the completion of assessment only the liability is determined, and when the liability is determined, then only they can sold the gold bars. Otherwise they cannot go sold the gold bars. Is it clear to you? So first, what is the thing? First you need to complete the assessment, and then the sale can be happen. So the case of the conclusion is what? No, because it can be adjusted only when the liability is determined, and it is done only on the completion of assessment. Only done based on the completion of assessment. Clear to you? Now read question section number 133 first. It is just give read wala question. Sorry, section, that is section number 133. Take 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and read it. It's just a read wala section. After that, we shall be moving ahead with the last section 133A, and there is a last a bit small section 133B. Okay, after that the art chapter will be completed and we will be solving the questions. Okay, so take your 5 minutes and read this particular section. Yes, done. Now, shall we move forward to the some questions first? Now, moving to the some questions first. See, question number three. What does it says? The Director General of Income Tax, after getting the information from that Mr. Mogambo is in the possession of unaccounted cash of 50 lakh rupees, issued order by invoking powers vested in him as per section number 133.1 for its seizure. Oh, can under section number 133.1 can the seizure can be happen? No, only the inspection. So only the inquiry can be happen, na? Only the inquiry can be happen. The seizure cannot be happen. Okay. Is the order for seizure of the cash issued by the Director General of Income Tax is correct? No, it is not correct. If not, does the Director General of Income Tax have any other power to seize such cash? Yes, under section number 132. Under section number 132, if you see na, see under section number 132, if you go, so under point number 3, under the point number 3, he can seize the amount because it is unaccounted money, it is undisclosed money. So on the point number 3, it can be seized. It can be seized. Unaccounted cash for 50 lakh rupees can be counted in the third point. See clause 3 of section number 132.1. Understood? But under section number 133.1a, it should not be. Under section number 133.1a, sorry, 131.1a, it should not be seized. It should not be seized because the seizure power is given under section number 130. Clear? Now, the premise of Ganesh was subjected to a search under section number 132 of the Act. The search was authorized and the warrant was signed by the Joint Commissioner of Income Tax having the jurisdiction over the assessee. Okay. Consequent to the information in its possession, the assessee challenged the validity of search on the ground that 132.1a does not empower the Joint Commissioner to authorize such a search, decide the correctness of the contention raised by the assessee. Now, the Joint Commissioner can authorize a search, but if it is empowered by the board, but they have not said whether it is empowered by the board or not, so you have to give the dicey answer. Okay. However, the Joint Commissioner can issue a warrant of authorization only if he is specifically empowered by the board. Therefore, only if the Joint Commissioner has been specifically empowered by the CBDT to do so, the contention of the assessee holds good. If the Joint Commissioner has been duly empowered by the court, then the contention raised by the assessee would not be valid. So you need to give the assessee answer. If the power is given by the board, then okay. If it is not, then it is not okay. Understood? Now see. Examine whether the information regarding the possession of unexplained assets, okay, and income received from the CBI, a government agency, can constitute information for action under section number 131. Array, this is a case law of Union of India versus Ajit Jain. Okay, the same case law is given here. See, the same case law is given here. It should not constitute information under section number 133 versus 132. Okay, understood. This question is also same. This question is also same. We have done all these questions. Okay, now see. Cash of 25 lakh rupees was seized on 12th of September 2024 in a search conducted as per section number 132. The assessee moved an application on 27th of October 2024 to release such cash after explaining the source thereof. So, till when he made to make the application? From the date, see, this is the date on which the search is conducted. So, from the end of this month, that is from 30th of September 2024 plus 30 days if we take, it should be 30th of August, sorry, October 2024. But he made an application on 27th itself, so it is well within the time. Yes, well within the time. So it is given that. Okay, so what they are saying that the assessee seeks your opinion on the following issues. Can the department withhold the explained money? It can withhold, but up to the maximum of 120 days from the date of search. After that, they have to release it. Okay. If yes, then what extent and what is the time period that we have already said that if he made the application, okay, so they can only hold up to the 120 days from the date of search. Okay, but in that particular case, they can only adjust what existing liability. They cannot adjust the rest to liabilities. They can only adjust what existing liability. Can you understand this particular point as well? Question number 6. Yes, clear. Now coming to question number 7, the same question is very easy. You can even read it well. Question number 7 is also easy. explain the procedure laid down to deal with such assets seized. Okay, what you need to do first, you need to do what the existing liability, then 3 points we have given now. If there is a search is conducted for the previous year, then you can do so. All these things, that 3 points you need to write, and what is the procedure. This is the question in the 2003, and it is not yet needed. Okay, but everything whatever you have learned about the search and seizure now, everything you need to write in this particular question. Okay, then there is a direct question on the penalty wala part. We have seen in the penalty wala part 271 double AB 30% penalty and the 60% penalty we have seen to it. Okay, we have seen to it. There is nothing unique in this particular question. They are just asking the penal provisions. They are just asking for the penal provisions, and we have done this. See, question number 10 is of this section number 148. So we shall be doing in the assessment procedure. We shall be doing in the assessment procedure chapter, that is the next chapter to it. Okay, we shall be seeing this particular question afterwards. Because it relates to the section number 148, we need to shift it down. Okay, now there are only 2 or 3 questions left. Okay, which is very easy based on section number 133, based on section number 133 a. Okay, yeah, so coming to the section number 133A, that is the power of survey. The power of survey. What we are saying that the income tax of authorities in the power of survey can be whom other the officer ranking from tax recovery officer up to principal commissioner or the principal director. Okay, and no action can be taken by the such ITO without the prior approval of what DGIT or the CIT. Okay, this is stupid cut. Okay, an or income tax authority or his duly authorized officer may enter any place with the area assigned to him. Whatever the area is assigned to him, he can visit any of the place to it. Okay, or any place occupied by any person with respect to his power of jurisdiction. Okay, now, okay, in every place he can go for the survey, and the business or profession or the charitable activities carried on and require the proprietor or employees to do what? See, he can go to any place where the business or profession or the charitable activity is done within its jurisdiction, and he can even require the proprietor or the employees to do what? Afford him a necessary activity facilities to inspect the books of accounts or the documents, to verify the cash, stock or other valuable items, or furnish any information which he may require. Now, suppose the person who on which the survey was conducted, but the books of accounts or the documents was not kept on the place where the business or profession of the charitable activity was conducted, but it was kept in his particular residential house. So whether the particular assessee, the assessing officer, can even can do the survey on the residential place. Yes, even he can do the survey on the residential place where the books of accounts was kept, documents was kept, stock cash was kept, everywhere where all these things are kept, whether he can go and check the survey. Yes, he can do the survey. He is entitled to do that. Now the important thing is this, the most important thing, all the questions, majorly all the questions will come from this particular part, which says that when can the ITA enter such particular place. See, if the search is conducted, if the survey is conducted, sorry, if I say the search, I'm trying to say the survey. Okay, please forgive me if I say the search in this particular section, where the survey is conducted for relating to the business or profession. So you can only enter in the business hours. You can only enter into the business hours. Okay, whether the business hours in the night you can enter it. Yes, you can enter it because it should be in the business hours. But for any other place other than the business and profession, if there is any other place, you can enter after sunrise but before sunset. But all these things, it is the time to enter. It is the time to enter, not the time to exit. Okay, so you should enter with this time, but there is no time to exit it. Okay, this is clear. This is the note which is written. Okay, this is what the general survey was conducted. If the survey was conducted for the TDS or TCS, if the survey is conducted for the TDS of TCS, whether the TDS is deducted correctly, whether the TCS is collected correctly or not, to verify these things, if there is a survey is conducted, so it can be conducted in the TDS or CTS survey entry at any place, not only business or profession or other places, no, any place. can be made only after sunrise but before sunset. Means the business hour concept is just over. You can only enter in the sun after the sunrise or before the sunset. There is no relevance of the business hours in this particular thing. Okay, and in the TDS and TCS survey, IT authority cannot impound books or documents made inventory of cash stock. They cannot do anything. They cannot make inventory or cash or stock. They cannot impound books or documents. Now, what is the power in case of the survey? So, in power in case of the survey, that is a general survey. Okay, now the general survey which is conducted, what they can do? Inspect the books of accounts. Yes, they can inspect. Okay, check, verify cash, stock, or other valuable articles. Place identification mark. Make an inventory. Okay, record a statement of any other person, and even impound and retain books of accounts. Okay, after recording the reason, but maximum of 15 days excluding the holidays. If they want to exceed for 15 days, then the approval should be taken from CIT or principal commissioner. Now we have said that for the purpose of TDS and TCS, they cannot impound the books of accounts or make the inventory. We have seen this here as well. Just we have given in the interlinking part. Okay. Now, ITA, that is the Income Tax Authority, cannot remove the cash, stock, or other value from such particular place. Okay. Now, survey due to the expenses and any other function. If the survey is conducted due to the functions, the expenditure is very high on that particular function. That is why the survey is conducted. So they can be conducted only they can be conducted only after the conclusion of such function, only after the conclusion of function. And if the authorized person is not if not cooperating with the survey, then the power under section number 131 can be exercised, that all the powers of the civil code can be activated by the income tax authorities. Understood? Is this clear? Now, last section, that is the power to collect the certain information under section number 133b. If IT authority may enter any place where the presence of profession is carried and collect information from there, so the entry should made only during the hours in which the business is kept open. That is the business hours. That is the business hours, if I have to say. Okay, now business hours. No power to impound books or documents. Okay, and if there is a case of a failure, say penalty under section number 272 AA will be 1000 rupees after given an opportunity of being heard. So for the for collection of another certain information under section number 133B, you can enter into the business hours. You can collect the information. You cannot retain or impound the books, and if there is a penalty, then penalty will be of 1000 rupees after given the opportunity of being heard. This is all the questions that we have to do. Now, coming to the question number 11 and 12, the 13 will be done by you. 11 and 12, I am telling you. The assessing officer within his jurisdiction under section number 133A surveyed a popular cyber cafe at 12 o'clock in the night for the purpose of collecting information which may be useful for the purpose of Income Tax Act 1961. The cyber cafe is kept open for business every day between 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. See, the business hours is what? 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. and he went to 12 a.m. itself. Okay, so well within the business hours itself. Yes, the owner of the cyber cafe claimed that the assessing officer could not enter the cafe in the late night. So he is wrong, the owner is wrong. The assessing officer wanted to take away with him the books of account kept at the cyber cafe. He cannot take the books of accounts. He cannot take the books of accounts. Examine the validity of the claim made by the owner and the proposed action of the assessing officer. The assessing officer action to take away the books of accounts cannot be done because under section number 133 the books of account cannot be taken away. Okay, but whether he can enter at 12 o'clock in the night, yes, he can enter it. Okay, the same is written here. Question number 12. An assessing officer entered a hotel run by a person in respect of whom he exercises a jurisdiction at 8 p.m. Okay, for the purpose of collecting information which may be useful for the purpose of the act as per section number 133B. 133B. Okay, the hotel is kept open for the business every day. Okay, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., which is well within the time period of the business hours. Yes, the hotelier claims that the assessing officer could not enter the hotel after the sunset. No, dear, he can enter because it is a business time. The assessing officer wants to take away the books of accounts. You know, he cannot take away the books of accounts. Okay, examine the validity of the hotelier and the proposed action of the assessing officer. The same answer should be written down here as well. Okay, the question number 13 is your homework. You will do it the same thing they are keep asking again and again, the same thing, that based on the time limits, based on the business hours concept itself. Okay, this is your homework question number 13, and the rest all the questions are over. All the questions are over. It is a very easy question. If you read it, if you solve it, it can be done very easily. Clear? So this is all for the day. We have completed the income tax authority. From tomorrow we shall be starting with the assessment procedures. So take care. Good night.